Hello dears, welcome to another video. It's MDN and today we are going to be discussing the Easter event that has returned to Dandy's World. From the new seasonal map that was dropped to Dark Lore, this Easter event isn't as innocent as it looks, because hidden inside all the bright colors and decorations is some of the darkest lore we've gotten so far. We've seen some dark lore in this game before, but this may be one of the most unsettling discoveries yet, because this time it doesn't feel like a mystery, it feels more like a warning, and it all comes back to Bassie. Bassie Bloomington was introduced to Dandy's World on April 18th, 2025, along with Exen, Flight, and Coco. All of these toons were introduced during the very first Easter update, alongside an Easter-specific lobby, shopkeeper Bassie, and additional skins. Also introduced was, of course, the original Easter map. This map is very spacious and features light pink and blue walls, a gift shop, hidden Easter eggs, and patches of grass and nature. Of course, this map also features a hidden lore room. After making your way through a little locker room and going up a ramp, you'll be in a very eerie space. This room feels wrong, like it doesn't belong anywhere near the rest of the map. And the more you look at it, the more it starts to feel like a secret that you were never supposed to see. The lore room contains various posters covered in ichor, a boarded up room, and ominous messages on the wall. These messages repeat phrases like get her now, and I'm sorry. There are various handprints, scattered notes, a Bassie plushie, and stained posters on the wall that specifically circle the get her and together. Overall, this room is definitely an outcast from the rest of the map, which seems to highlight positivity, festivities, and friendship. While all of these details have been kept exactly the same from last year's Easter event, there is one major update to the room, and of course, it involves Bassie. While playing as Bassie, if you enter the lore room and wait for a few seconds, you'll eventually see this message pop up. I don't want to stay here. I should leave. This was expected to happen as it piggybacks off of Gordy's lore room dialogue as well as Bobette's, and many people in the Dandy's World wiki forum actually predicted this to happen a few days before the event. While at the moment it doesn't seem that Exen, Flight, or Coco have any dialogues in this room, they do have dialogues in the new Easter seasonal map that came out. So let's take a look at what that map shows us and why it matters. The new seasonal Easter map is officially the first floor to have a full-fledged second floor, introduce several Easter toon dialogues, and of course contains a mystery room with a lock on the outside. If you make your way past that and up a ramp, when standing in front of the design your own egg sign, Exen will say, "Ah yes, egg painting, one of my favorite spots, on account of the eggs." Flight will say, "If only my wings didn't struggle holding a paintbrush, I'll stick to my scrapbooking." Coco will say, "I remember egg painting. I'd stamp my paw in the paint and onto eggs. It was super fun." And last but not least, Bassie will say, "Decorating eggs was always so messy. Haha, paint got everywhere." However, these aren't the only dialogues present on this map. If you go down to the lower floor and stand in front of the plants for sale sign, two toons have dialogues here, Coco and Bassie. Coco says, "Ooh, I remember all the pretty spring flowers sold here, so fun." Bassie will say, "I love flowers. I've always dreamed of being in a real flower field, one from the outside." While at first these dialogues may seem unassuming, they actually give away some really good information. If we analyze Bassie's dialogue from Coco's dialogue in front of the Design Your Egg station, it's very evident that Coco's dialogue is a lot more content and optimistic than Bassie's, as Coco's contains joy indicators such as stating that the activity was fun, as well as exclamation marks, whereas Bassie's doesn't reminisce on any of the fun parts of the activity, rather conveys a forced neutrality, masking what feels like deeper dissatisfaction. Going off of that same note, if we dissect the difference in dialogue during the plants for sale bit, we can once again see a very similar pattern. Coco's dialogue once again expresses a sense of enjoyment and happiness, whereas Bassie's dialogue references something we don't tend to see a lot from the toons in Garden View, the outside. While Coco's dialogue shows a content behavior being where she is, Bassie seems to know that more exists on the surface, conveying uncertainness and possibly the sense that she feels almost trapped. Well, what if this isn't speculation anymore, but a reality? These next few dialogues may change the way we see Bassie Bloomington as well as the truth behind her lore. If you head onto her shop in the lobby, you'll now have the chance to hear some of her gossip. While there's lots of gossip with all sorts of toons, the main toons I want to focus on include Bassie's gossip with V, Coco, and Pebble. When talking about V, Bassie states, "I've never had the pleasure of joining in on V's trivia. I'd like to though. Maybe I'd even win. What a lovely thought that is. Haha. The way Bassie excitedly initially says that she'd be interested in joining and having a chance to win seems authentic and genuinely out of curiosity and happiness. But then, the emotion is brought down a bit by the final sentence, where she almost grounds herself in doubt. That final sentence, what a lovely thought that is Bassie's way of expressing that it's nothing more than a fantasy, something she doesn't actually believe will happen, and shows her pulling herself back down to reality. It's almost as if she's expressing that, deep down, she doesn't see herself as someone who belongs there in the first place. When talking about Coco, Bassie says, "I was thinking about Coco recently. Hahaha. Do you ever think about better times?" This dialogue is very ominous, as if she's not just remembering something but feels regretful. Bassie doesn't share exactly what she was thinking about regarding Coco, but by the dialogues, it can be inferred that either A, her thoughts about Coco aren't just memories, they're reminders of something that went wrong, or B, deep down, that Coco was the one who was supposed to be in her role, and that she's only filling a role that was never truly hers to begin with. Finally, in Bassie's gossip about Pebble, she says, "I remember one Easter, Pebble had gotten mud all over the decorations. I tried my best to clean up what I could, haha, but I didn't clean things well. Thankfully, there were other toons who offered to help, so I let them. They helped. I let them. I let them help that year. Couldn't do it on my own. Haha." This dialogue is very different from the other two, as she seems to break her very timid and quiet persona. She sounds almost manic, as she's constantly repeating phrases and has a very crazed laugh situation going on. So what now? What exactly do these dialogues contribute to? Well, when you line them all up, they stop feeling like random dialogue and start to feel more like clues. My final theory is one that ties all of these little pieces of dialogue, mysteries, and tragedies together to reveal Bassie's dark secret, one that was supposed to stay hidden and never be revealed. In the original Easter map, Bassie's lore room features this specific note: "I don't think she should be the main class toon. After evaluations, it's clear she is too reliant on fellowship of toons she's close with. She is dependent, not an independent. Reconsider. I know this is very last moment. I'm unsure if she can handle the public pressure in the key position you've placed her. Signed, Delilah Keen." This note features random ichor stains as well as handprints, which we can also see throughout the entire lore room on the walls. Something else this lore room features is something that we already went over, which are the repeated messages like I'm sorry, and get her now. But wait, we've seen this pattern before, and I'm guessing you already know where I'm going with this. Yup, Bassie displays these specific tendencies as we previously saw throughout her gossip about Pebble, which further confirms it was her who wrote all of this in the lore room. Finally, it's very evident through several dialogues with her fellow toons that she is fearful of being replaced. Take this conversation between Bassie and Bobette for instance. Bassie says, "So you're the Christmas holiday main? Last I checked, yup." "Last you checked? Like we could be replaced?" "What? No, I meant to ask a silly little comment." "Oh, you're so funny." Thanks." It's clear that Bassie misunderstood Bobette's remark and was genuinely frightened by the thought of replacement. When she realized it was a miscommunication, she very forcefully tried to lighten up the situation. There are also dialogues between Coco and Bassie where it seems very evident that the friendship is one-sided. Coco says, "I love the spring season. I can't stop thinking about Easter." Of course you can't stop thinking about it. "Huh? Aren't you the same way though?" "No, I'm not like you." "Aw, that's okay. We're all our own toon at the end of the day." Okay. Another dialogue between Coco and Bassie starts with Bassie very uninterested saying, "Coco, oh Bassie, how are you, my friend?" "Fine." "That's great to hear. Were you needing any help?" "No, not from you." "Oh, silly Bassie, always with your jokes." If we take a look at Coco's dialogue with fellow toons, and even the one that we just read between Coco and Bassie, it's very clear that Coco seems to naturally be a helper. Many of her dialogues involve her asking how to help others and overall be a supportive friend and toon. Maybe Bassie has taken note of this behavior, which is why in her dialogue with Sprout, she starts to wonder about her own nature and tendencies. Maybe Bassie notices how helpful Coco is with everybody, and to Coco it just comes effortlessly. And maybe, deep down, Bassie knows she wasn't supposed to be the Easter main toon. It was always supposed to be Coco. From seeing Coco's effortless friendliness and willingness to help, to finding the note that her own creator wrote about her, Bassie figured out the truth, causing her to spiral. This is where envy, fear, and grief began to manifest, ultimately leading Bassie to turn twisted, and developing into one of the saddest lore theories we have today in Dandy's world. And with that stated, that's all I've got for today. Let me know your theories on what truly happened between Coco and Bassie below, and maybe any details that I missed. Bassie in the Easter Toons lore is still developing, and I'm so excited to see everything that is revealed going on forward. So with that said, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Stay safe and remember that you are loved. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!